Test. Yeah. All right. Now you guys can hear me, right? Hopefully. Y'all can hear me now. Test one, two, three. Had a computer failure. Okay, good. The computer did a restart thing and broke everything. I'll get to questions. I saw the questions earlier. I'll get to them, but I want to show you guys something. I haven't even watched this video myself, but I want to show you guys. So hang tight just 1 second. I want to show y'all something. Y'all see it, right? You see it sitting there, right? Y'all see that, right? That's a whole lot of information in one video right there, guys. That's on a bench power supply. Yeah, baby. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up. Y'all see it, right? Yeah, that's not on the website yet, but it will be very soon. It's also going to be powering the subwoofer and the Chrysler 300, as well as some of the channels. The Mini 4, the one that I've been using forever, you notice it ain't on the wall back here. It's not back there. That's because it's getting ready to go into the Chrysler also. That whole setup is going in there. Uh, I got a video that I haven't put up yet that I've been working on. I'm still doing the stuff that's in the video. I'm not completely done making the video. But let's just say the radio is going to be fully functional. The dash is going back together, clean as factory, and it's going to be rock solid. I'll give you guys that information. Yes, Slaps is coming out with a 5-channel amplifier with a 500-watt subwoofer channel at 1 ohm, and it does make its power. That was a random pull. He pulled that from the shipment to test that one. He also tested 3 more amplifiers. They all performed exactly the same within a watt of each other. Um, and so, yeah, it's a solid little amplifier. And the price, holy crap, guys. I'm going to make sure I get this price right. So, 5-channel amp with a 5th 500-watt channel, 160 watts by 4, and a 500-watt amp channel, subwoofer channel, $129 with clip light, the whole kit and caboodle. It's a sick little amplifier, and I'm gonna have one of them in the Chrysler. So if you guys are watching, you're gonna see it go in, and you're gonna see what it does. So I'm going to be putting some different subwoofers on it and testing some different subwoofer ideas for the Chrysler build, because I've been really trying to come up with the right combination of bass and also usability. And I've just been fighting with this. I've got a whole lot of ideas and I haven't nailed one down. So I want to do some testing first. And that testing, you guys are going to get to see all the testing. So I'm going to do all of it on video. I'm testing several different subwoofer possibilities all on one video to see what kind of response curves we get. I'm more interested in the response curve than the actual SPL output. However, I may put the meter in there just to measure it, just to see what it does. But I'm more looking for a good response curve, a good low end response curve. So that's what I'm shooting for with this build. And so far, it's coming together real nicely. Let's go down here and see. I got a couple of questions. I'm going to hit them. So Nico Nugent is in the house. He wants to know about the Cross 300 build. It is in progress. There's so many different fires going on right now. I've got the front dash installed. The front door's done now. I've got the speakers for the rear deck. I've got one of the amplifiers in that's going in the trunk. Another one is in shipment coming to me soon. The Mini 5 is coming. That's going to go in there, as well as the B2 DSP. That amp board's done. The wiring in the trunk is pretty much done, except for a couple of grounds that I got to run. So yeah, it's going to all snap together quickly. There's a whole lot of preparation work that I've been doing, getting the surfaces ready, repairing little broken things, cleaning a lot of dirt out of the car, sound deadening, all kinds of different things, little stuff on the bottom, the foundational things that you want to do a good build. The actual equipment is the very last thing that goes in. For most people, it's the first thing that goes in. Then they realize they should have done a bunch of other stuff beforehand. It's best to do all those things ahead of time. Get your electrical situation took care of first. Get all that foundation laid. So when you start putting in equipment, everything is just bam, 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 bam. And believe me, I've been struggling with this head unit thing since I got the blasted thing. And but I did come up with a solution, and it's executing very well. And the video will be up as soon as I get enough. Right now, if I put it up, it's not going to be done. You'll see most of it being done, but you won't see the finished product. So I'm trying to get to the finished product before I put it up as a video, to where I don't have a total cliffhanger. I may not have it in the car playing, but I have had it playing, and I'm putting it. It's going in on the factory bezel, so it's going to snap into place perfectly. Then it's just a matter of sorting out the little stuff like steering wheel controls and things, going through all the settings, finding all that stuff, and getting it all bang on perfect, and we'll all be solid. Then I got to do the ground wires in the trunk and stuff. So yeah, I just got more stuff to do. Joe Playa, what's up, man? I got a question about, notice Slap's audio mids have a lower sensitivity. They are a pro audio mid per se. Pro audio gear typically has a pretty, it says lower sensitivity. Actually, they're pretty high. They have a higher sensitivity than the average car audio driver. They have a higher ohm load, if that's what you're talking about. And that's just because most of the time in those builds, people are putting many of them together in one build. And higher ohm load tends to do a few different things. One, it tends to make the driver a little bit more accurate. It also helps with heat dissipation a little bit. And so things like that can be an issue, but it makes it easier to wire, which is the biggest thing. And when I say the other things, there's very minute changes between a high ohm load and a low ohm load speaker. There's minute differences in the output, the sound coming out. It's not a lot, but there is a little. Tiny bit more heat dissipation. A little bit more stable. If you're trying to max out, all those things, then that's kind of where you'd go. It's not a big difference. It's probably like a 1 or 2% or something like that. It's very small, but it does exist. And the sound of them is pretty much the same. The biggest thing is having higher ohm loads makes them easier to wire up in large groups. And that's just the way they come. That said, I have no issue running them. I'm running them in the Tahoe, and I was running the two tens and two tweeters off of one Slaps Mini 4 160 watt amp. So if you do the math on that, I mean, uh, that's 160 watts by 4 at, I believe, 2 ohms, 100 watts by 4 at 4 ohms, if I'm not mistaken on those numbers, which means I was putting like 40 watts on them. And they were loud as crap. Um, I've got a bigger amp on them now, but I didn't have to. It was already cranking. I just wanted to put the other amp in there and have it running with the set. There was no need for it. That one Slaps Mini was handling the front stage all by itself against 16,000 watts of power. So, yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Let's see here. Bobby B's in the house. Y'all are bitching because my microphone wasn't working, and I am terribly sorry about that. Let's see here. Love the Crosser 300. Can't wait to see more upgrades on it. Yes. Right. Good. Yeah. Sound is working. But yeah, I'm working on it, man. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be rocking. I wish you guys would be able to hear it when I get done because I'm going to have it nailed down tight. Oh yeah. Thanks, Nico. Joe says, well, most of the speakers I've ran are 97.5 dB sensitive and 94 for mids, PREs, and Concrete Audio. That's why okay. Yeah. Sensitivity is kind of a thing you design for, but it's like it's the end product of a whole lot of other decisions you have to make. So, as you know, most subwoofers are not very sensitive at all, and there's a reason for that. There's reasons for everything. When you design a driver, you want it to be sensitive is one of the end results you're wanting to get. But along the way, you have to decide, do you want good pistonic movement, good rigid cone that gives you accurate reproduction? If so, the cone's going to be a little bit thicker, which means a little bit less sensitivity. Do you want a slightly better voice coil that's going to cool a little better and handle power better? As you know, these drivers are rated pretty high, and that's because they have a bigger coil, which lowers sensitivity. Anytime you add any mass, you're lowering sensitivity. So forth and so on. All these little tiny decisions make a difference. So ultimately, in the end, if you've managed to get all of the other things boxes checked and you still have decent sensitivity, you got a really good driver. Some guys out there may achieve a high sensitivity, but they're doing it by sacrificing the overall sound, the quality, or they're sacrificing something else. So that's something to keep in mind. Not saying these guys did that. The other guys you're talking about, I'm just saying that does happen. There's always sacrifices. If you want to gain one number, you have to sacrifice something else. If you want more power handling and more cone control, you have to sacrifice other things. So there's a level that you have to try to reach. You're pushing up bars on the meter, except every once in a while, one you push up will bring something else down. Anyway, any other questions tonight? So yes, we are doing a live show, and that's the thing. I don't usually have a good topic. Tonight I had a couple of topics, but they were small. So I'm relying on questions from you guys to know where we go with the conversation. It's funny, man. I get people asking me questions and comments on videos and stuff all the time. But then whenever I do a live show, Nobody's asking questions. Just want to watching and chilling and hanging out. I'm like, this is the time. It's easier for me to answer these questions live. So I'll tell you guys about what happened with the cancer thing. So yeah, I'm a lung cancer patient, and I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette. In fact, if you'll find if most lung cancer patients are still smoking cigarettes, because it don't just magically become unaddicted just because there's lung cancer. So get over that. We're moving past that. But what happened was I went and got my shit scanned, and what I had is a small chunk, maybe a centimeter or so, and they're going to target it with radiation. I'm going to go in for once a week for like 6 weeks, and they're going to shoot it with targeted radiation, which is basically where they take and tattoo a dot on you, and that they tattoo several dots on you. They build a thing to put you in to hold you in a certain position, and they get all that stuff constructed, and then you go up there for a treatment, and they put the thing on you, and they line the dots all up with the lasers on the machine. That's therefore the machine targets the same exact spot it's supposed to target, and they do that multiple times, and they kill the radiation. They kill the cancer with radiation. Um, so yeah, that's how that works. uh, but what did you guys think about my track that I played when I come in tonight? Curious about that. Got another one here. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, that's a creepy track. Let's see. I have a new album that's going to be going up here pretty soon, and some of the tracks that I have are on that album. They're not up yet though, so we will play a crazy one. You guys want to hear one of my crazy ass tracks that's not uploaded yet? Oh yeah, no, not this one. That ain't the right one. I'll do this. I could do this one. Yeah, I'll do this one. I'm gonna do this. It's probably gonna be my new intro track. I'm gonna play it for you guys. Hang tight. Y'all tell me what you think about this. Get ready for it. Of course not. Let's see if this works. Uh, I know y'all can hear me. I got it figured out. Hang on. We're going to try this again. Yeah, it's supposed to be on there. Let's put it on this. We'll try this. Y'all let me know if you can hear this, all right? In the chat, let me know if you can hear it or if you can't hear it so I can keep up. Boy, I tell you what, man. You know, the shit I go through. I don't know why in the hell I even try. Hang on. I am just having the most wonderful freaking time just just beating my brains against a damn wall. Um, let me figure this shit out here. I give up, man. I don't know. Hang on. Maybe I can do one more thing. Let's try one more thing. We'll try open with media player. That's what I had open it with before. Let me do it again. Open with uh, VLC, Windows. Where the hell is that at? Here we go. Now, when I start playing this, guys, tell me if you can hear the music or not, right off the bat. All right. So I want to know if it works or not, because I'm an idiot. Now, understand that, y'all. I know there's a lot of people in here that are smarter than me, and they know exactly what they're doing. I'm not one of them people. So, um, I'm just an old guy trying to make shit work when sometimes computers just want to be a pain in the ass. So y'all let me know if this is playing right off the bat, and then I'll continue. If not, I'll give up. Is it playing? Hmm. Yeah, of course not. All right. Anyway, I give up on that for right now. I'll play something later. Uh, man, I don't know what's going on with that. That should be coming over. I don't know why this program is being a pain in my ass. So I got you, boss. Uh, it's a good track. It'll be up. Wisconsin Outlaw. What's up, man? It says, I have a 2004 GMC Sierra with a Bose system in it. If I was going to replace the system, what would I put in it for a system? What would I put in it for a system? 2004 GMC. That's a cat eye, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember what the dash looks like because that's where things get complicated. Obviously, it's going to need a media center. It all depends on what you want, man. Hang on a second. Let me do a little bit of digging so I know what I'm referencing. 2004 GMC dash. I pick up dash. I'm just trying to get it in my head. Oh, there's a 3 through 6. Okay. Yeah, so that's got a double den hole in it. That's actually a good thing. And let's see here. We'll have a look. We'll have a look see over here because that way we can be on the same page. So I'm guessing that's kind of what your dash looks like. Does it have that center console down there? Because that might be a cool thing to do some cool stuff with. So first of all, the way the dash is angled towards you, a screen would work really good in here. Um, a screen would work really good. So you could do a double den screen, but you could also, if you've got a little bit of room, you could do like a 9-inch in here, theoretically. Because it wouldn't come down and cover your AC controls. It would come over here, it would come up here, it'd come over here and down about here. So you could do like a 9-inch, a double den size radio with a 9-inch screen, like the Alpine. Uh, well, it's a 10-inch screen. It probably would still work. The Alpine 10, high 10, those have been around for a few years, so they have a new version of it, but you could find the high 10 somewhere, like on eBay. That'd be a cool one to put in there. Um, or anything else. And honestly, I'll tell you a good place to look for an inexpensive radio that looks like it cost $1 million, and that's Bose, Boss. Yes, the same company, or not Bose, but Boss rather, the same company that makes those crappy ass car audio amps. Well, they happen to make really good head units. Go figure that shit out. Anyway, you could pick up one from them or the high 10. That would be a nice thing up here. Now, interesting thing is you've got this CD player down here. You may not have that down there, but if you do, or a blank, you could go old school and put like an EQ setup down here. So I had let me go into my thing here. And oops, stop going, stop. What are you doing, you psychotic freaking mouse? Oh my god, this computer is driving me batshit crazy. Um, what was it? Where was it in here? I had pulled up some. I've been looking at all kinds of stuff. Here they are. So, like, there's these units right here, and these little guys right here. And this little guy right here runs on 12 volts. It could be mounted down there in that space, right? It's about the right dimensions and everything. And it could be mounted in that space right here. It would be sick as hell. You could also do an EQ down there or something like that. There's a couple of different options, but you could put something down here. And depending on how loud you want to be, um, if you're wanting to get stupid loud, that's a whole nother subject, but I'm sure that's not where you are. You want some good thunder, but not crazy, crazy. That's where most people are at. And that's a really nice looking truck, by the way. Just thought I'd point that out. I like the way that dash looks. Um, it looks to me like there's enough room back in here to possibly have a little subwoofer in there, but I would say since you've got the extended cab you were saying, I would go with a sub possibly under the seats in the back or behind the seats in the back or removing the seats and putting the sub back there where the seats used to be. Those are the three options I do back there. And that would also dictate how much power you were going to use. Realistically, You could do like, um, hang on a second, a stealth box for 2005 GMC truck. Yes. Okay. This guy right here. Now, I know this is a pricey number that we're looking at, but if you want a really, really good sound, this is the way to go. And this little guy fits under your seat back there and goes away completely. And that's not the truck. That's what year is this? This is the 215. So we need to find the 2005. I typed in 215 apparently because I'm an idiot. No, I didn't. I typed in 2005. Anyway, look for the JL Stealth Box for your truck. And the reason is that's going to give you the best sound. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that JL does these days that are just dumb. But when it comes to building thin subs and these little stealth boxes, man, there's nobody out there that does it better than they do. Period. I mean, period. They sound absolutely phenomenal. I would look at that. Oftentimes on the box, there's a provision for an amplifier to be mounted on the box, and you could easily put a 5 channel on that, um, and run you some good JBL club series or stadium series drivers in the doors with some sound deadening around them to keep the doors in check, because the doors in the mid '90s cars were just built pretty bad in a lot of ways. And a lot of the stuff, the metal was thin. They weren't really trying too hard to make the greatest doors. And it was all across the board, all of them from that era. So sound deadening is going to be your friend on those doors. You could also consider they may make a kick panel for this vehicle. And I know this is usually the most crowded spot is the driver's side. So if you can get a kick panel down here for a 6.5 and a tweeter combo, that would be great. You would have to move your emergency brake lever to the side a little bit so that it would still be useful if you ever use it. I never use an emergency brake. And I drove a standard for years and didn't use one then either. I just parked it in gear and called it good. But I lived in flatland, so the shit wasn't going to roll anywhere anyhow. Um, but yeah, what you're really going to get good mids and highs from a kick panel setup, they're going to get more mid bass from the door. But if you've already put a sub in it, this little guy right here in that area will be a absolute win for you. Um, so there's lots of different options, man. I mean, I would go. You could use the Slaps Mini 5 actually that's coming out right now because it's a tiny amplifier and it does plenty of power for that whole setup. Um, and that would power the whole rig. But me personally, I start with the thing I touch, the thing that I interface with. I start with the head unit, and then I decide what the head unit, a new head unit is going to do. And here's the thing: the factory head unit is going to have a DSP tune in it specifically for the speakers that are in there. And just replacing the head unit can oftentimes net you quite a bit of sound that you didn't have before because you're going to be sending full range signals to all those spaces. And you can go in there and set up your own EQ curves, and you can get the sound a lot more pleasant. So it's just a whole lot of different things. I would go and replace speakers that are no good if needed, and replace the head unit and start from there. And if it still sounds like hot garbage, just better hot garbage, it's time to start putting in speakers, amplifiers, and potentially a DSP. Um, but you can do all of that relatively inexpensive. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. The one thing that I would spend the money on, though, if you want a good sounding sub, is that JL Audio Stealth Box. If you can find one of those for your truck, that's going to be a good foundation to build on. Because, man, they sound so big, and they're so small, and they sound so big. Um, really, really deep, really low frequencies come out of those things. I don't know how they managed to get so much low frequency out of such a small box, but it really resonates good. They stay nice and clean and linear. Uh, they just sound really good, but they're pricey. They're handmade. Okay. They're handmade fiberglass enclosures. And they really do make them by hand. They use a mold to get everything started, and then they go in and lay fiberglass by hand. They hand sand, hand finish, hand carpet, all of that stuff. It's a well built piece of equipment. That's why it's so expensive. Is because they're very well built and they're built by hand. Um, so yeah, Adrian says if it's too loud, you're too old. I had that lines in one of my tracks, man. I got a handful of lines that I tend to include one of them in every track, no matter what. It's like it's in there somewhere. Just listen for it. Now, all knobs to the right. It's another one. Run your system, not your mouth. If it's too loud, you're too old. I got a couple more, but in pretty much every one of my bass tracks or anything that's close to a bass track, you're going to hear one of those lines in there. Yeah, look for the Hi-10 or the Boss Audio, uh, a Boss Audio radio that's similar to that. You're probably going to go for that screen because, like I said, you've already got the dash that kind of comes around and points at you. That's just calling you for a screen. Uh, and it's really a lovely thing to have a dash that's made in such a way that you can really take advantage of that. And you happen to have that. Um, and having that little cubby down there, man, I would find a way to incorporate that. They still make single DIN like EQs and stuff, but you may have to dig to find one. But I'm just the kind of guy that wants an EQ, and having one with the little sliders or the knobs that I can adjust on the fly. I'm that kind of guy that likes to mess with knobs and buttons and stuff. So that just it tickles every bone that I got. You know what I'm saying? As far as putting, and you've even got an ashtray. I have an ashtray in my car, guys. It's a 2009. It has a freaking ashtray and a cigarette lighter, a legit cigarette lighter, not just a plug. Crazy shit. Yeah, you got a cup holder and an ashtray down there. I remember that build now, that setup. I'm having to think back a little bit, but I can remember it. I think it's got 5x7s in the doors. If it has the 5x7s or 6x8s or whatever you want to call them, they're not 6x9s. They're the smaller round speaker or oval speaker. If it has those, uh, it's probably going to have them in the front and in the back. And if it has those, get the Alpine Type R 5x7s or 6x8s, whatever they're called. Get those and put those in your door. Those are the speakers you want if it has those cutouts. You're going to be really happy with those. And they're not expensive. Um, you pick those guys up, the head unit, cabling, wiring. You do have steering wheel controls, so you're going to need a pack unit if you want it to pick it up. And you're going to want to get that installed because trust me, you don't want to try to program a freaking CAN bus. But get that part done at a shop. But yeah, you can retain your steering wheel controls that way. And the Alpine Type R's in the doors with a JL sub back there, you won't even need dash speakers. Believe me. Those are angled right too. Yeah, it's going to rock out, dude. Um, what's up, CXR Media? Just want to say your videos have been very helpful. I'm a newbie trying to do things right. I try to do things right all the time, man. I'm not always successful, but what I'm doing on my channel is I could always edit out all of my mistakes. I could make myself look like the most brilliant know-it-all there is on the planet because I could edit out all the stupid tries and just put in the one that worked, right? But that's no fun because you guys don't get to do that in real life. So What I'm doing is I'm leaving in all the dumb things, all the broken pieces, all the bad decisions, all that stupid crap, and how I've sorted it out, because that's the kind of bullshit that people run into when they do a build. And I don't care who you are. You could have done 500 of this car. You're going to run into one that's going to kick your ass, and you're going to have to fight your way through it. There's going to be one thing that's going to lead to something else and lead to something else. And you got to solve those problems. It's not just because you've done it a bunch of times doesn't mean that you're not going to run into stuff that just completely blows your mind and wrecks your shit. You know what I mean? And also, if you're not stepping outside your normal knowledge, the normal box that you live in, if you're not stepping out of that and trying things that you haven't done before, learning things you haven't learned, you're not making any progress. You're stagnant. So that's kind of the way I think, and that's what I'm putting on video. So you guys appreciate that. I really do appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Because that's what I'm doing, is bringing you a real guy doing a real install and dealing with real problems that everybody has to deal with, and how I fight my way through those problems. Sometimes the best way to do it is pull away, take some time, sit and think, talk to yourself a little while, look at videos, look at what other people have done. Something will eventually hit you, and then you can get back into what you were doing and be past that speed bump. Ashtray with two roaches. What's up, Base Villa? You guys are a hoot, man. And Keith said, thanks for sharing. Yes. Again, bro, all I do is just do shit and record it. Very bare minimum of editing. Like I said, I want all the stupid shit to be there too, because everybody experiences it. And we've all went and bought something and it turned out it was the wrong thing. Well, these days on the internet, it's much easier to do that because you can't look at it closely and hold it in your hand. You're buying it based on a picture or a description. And then when you get it, it's like, well, the description was wrong. Now what do? You got it. Do you return it? I mean, it was $12 or $100 or $50. I mean, are you really going to return it, or are you just going to freaking figure out a way to use it anyway? It's like, and then you have to admit, well, I did something stupid, but I'm doing that. I'm doing all of that. And the fact that people are picking up on it means I'm doing it right. Even if some of them are jackasses. And there are a few of those out there. Oh, don't tell anybody. For those of you guys who just joined us, I want to go back and pull up this video one more time, and I'm going to show you guys. Slaps Audio is about to drop the Mini 5-channel amp with a 500 watt sub channel and 4 160 watt channels. And this is the video of that amp on a dyno. You gotta love it. But yeah, guys, if y'all got any more questions for me tonight, is I'm getting hungry. If y'all ain't got any more shit from me tonight, I'm going to be getting the duck out of here. And I appreciate you guys for stopping by. And be sure and slam that subscribe button if you didn't do it. And if you're watching this later on and I'm not here to answer your questions because it's not live anymore, leave a comment down below this video and I will get to your question. Guys, let's get the duck out of here.
subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Power's charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Wires are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass slamming. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz and float in the air. Sparks are flying, voice coils are frying, and the smoke is in the air. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Got it. Got it. Boom. Yeah.
I'm going to answer this question. Millie J said, "500 or 700 amp draw. That's two. You'll need two power runs for that minimum." Um, and power wire through to my new amp. I need to get it through the firewall. 2021 Honda Accord. First timer, already ran 1.0 gauge. I would look for the boot that would normally have your clutch reservoir, your hydraulic clutch reservoir mounted to it. So there'll be one down there close to where your pedals are. There's a boot there. If your car is an automatic, that may be there. Another spot is the boot around the steering column. You can typically cut a slit down toward the bottom of that boot and slide a power wire through there and pop out under your dash. Or you can do like I do and run everything under the car. So, but with 700 amps, I would actually be looking at running 3 power wires if you're wanting to pull all that power from the front to the back. I usually limit it to about 300 amps per alt gauge. So that means you're 100 amps over. I'd want to run 3. I would also be sure you're checking your grounds, making sure your grounds are good, because you may be looking at a situation where you keep adding power, but you're not adding grounds as well. And your ground path needs to be just as robust as your power path. It is literally the same path. And if you're choking, all that power through one alt gauge ground, and it doesn't matter how many power wires you run, you're still going to be limiting your amount of power you can effectively move by the grounds. But yeah, that's my suggestion. Hopefully that helps you. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. Peace out.